Everything's packed up and we are boxed out. Welcome to the categories that no one talks about. I'm your host, Kyle, and normally we look to eat food as fresh as possible. But what if we looked at the extreme end of the spectrum? Welcome to today's episode, Wanted, Dead or Alive. Starting us off is Lily, with food that's fresher than you think.
While usually customary to kill your food before you eat it, several countries and cultures often still eat food while it's alive. Countries like Mexico, Ghana, Brazil, Thailand, and even in the US, bugs are a dish served seasoned in cheeses or just plain. Bugs and insects are very high in protein, and common delicacies are crickets, grasshoppers, maggots, worms, and larvae. While these countries focus on things that crawl on land, other countries eat foods that crawl in the sea. In several Asian countries, such as Japan, China, and Korea, they eat foods such as drunken shrimp, baby octopi, and several other shellfish. To eat these, they are often restrained, shocked into being paralyzed, or eaten while they try to escape. While sounding strange, these daily practices can also be deadly, as some creatures often try to escape as you eat them, making one choke and suffocate. Or like maggots, they may not all be swallowed and can burrow in one's mouth, causing infections and diseases. Along with this, if not prepared properly, pesticides and toxins could also be consumed from bugs.
Wait, people eat maggots? Like, in what way?
The maggots is usually embedded in the cheeses, like they'll lay their eggs, and a lot of times it's used with botflies as well.
Why?
It helps to add more flavor to the cheese.
Do they eat maggots by themselves as well? Because you said maggots by themselves.
Yes, they eat them plain or seasoned. They use several seasonings such as paprika, and others.
Just paprika and maggot?
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Not really.
And nutritious.
Mm.
And at the other end of the spectrum, we have camp, with food older than you think.
In Chinese cuisine, there's an egg that is buried and aged for 7 weeks to 5 months. The century egg is a special dish that represents long life and prosperity, with a rubbery texture and black in color. And on the subject of aged food, let's step back in time to the Victorian era, where aristocrats would consume something blasphemous, and all due to a translation error. For you see, there's an asphalt-like substance in a Persian mountainside revered for its healing properties. This substance was called mummia. Because of land using the same word for mummy as they did with this word, mummia, English translators confused the two and would prescribe mummies to treat diseases from epilepsy to tuberculosis to cancer, and eventually sleazy salesmen would sell fake mummies as a real thing. The import of mummies were eventually banned in the 16th century, but that didn't stop a few from coming in through expedition returns.
How else were the mummies used?
They were actually used in paint. Their hands and feet would be cut off and sold, and the bodies would be used as scientific cadavers.
Imagine having a real corpse as your cadaver. That'd be crazy.
But accurate.
Yeah.
They would also use the mummy wrappings as bandages in the Civil War.
I don't want that.
That's a good way to reuse and recycle. Be resourceful, I guess.
Get that bag. Unlike those mummies, we are wrapped up and packed up. I've been your host, Kyle, and have a great day.